about the collaboration, and we'll be happy to share, even with other upcoming enterprises, how we can be able to have products that are addressing the base of the pyramid, but they are also quality products. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mercy, for the journey and the successes we have been able to achieve together, working together. Could you also maybe a bit mention about some of the challenges that you are facing as a business, and the future plans, and how do you see such an idea of establishing a business club? Do you think many more businesses like yours how should we loop them in to think about inclusivity, offering such good products to the market, and still not lose focus on profitability?
Thank you so much. One of the challenges that we faced, especially being a company that is doing high-end products but based in the rural areas, was the infrastructure, especially because of like the fact now business is growing. It reaches a point where now you need bigger partners. Eliud actually told me this 5 years ago, that Mercy, where we have found you, 5 years down the line, you'll be a big business. And I was telling him, you know, Eliud, we are too small. And he kept on telling me, no, you can make it. When I look at the businesses that we have, especially for for the youth and the women, because when we joined TwoScale, I was still a youth. And the fact that through this platform, you have people who can hold your hands. She visited us when you were pretty, just kind of a concept of setting up a business. But through the collaboration we have received from the consultants, TwoScale has really put in a lot of money to give us consultants to help us grow faster. The challenge with most of our businesses is, yes, you will grow, but you might take longer. But through this kind of collaboration, between the development partners, the consultants, and the private sector, then our businesses will be able to grow more. So for me, I see this as a great opportunity for networking, where we can be able to grow together and also share the experiences. George mentioned that next month we are supposed to share this in Netherlands again. So when you are looking at expanding your networks, but not only us, but looking at others who are coming up. When this information is shared, it also encourages people. And the growing businesses, what they lack mostly is mentors. So for me, I'm looking at this club being a source of inspiration, where we can have the different categories of businesses, the networking, and also the growth together for collaboration. So for me, I see it as a great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mercy, for sharing that and the benefit you're seeing in these kind of partnerships or such a club, and particularly the mentorship, the networking aspects as the business grows. So working very closely with you has been the private sector. I know my friend here, David, has not worked with you directly, but has worked a lot with our dairy partners. So I invite him at this juncture to share with us how it has been working with us, and why does Advanta care about inclusivity. Karibu, David.
Thank you, Eliud. Good morning, all the participants. I would want to say that it has been great working with the TwoScale project, and maybe to introduce myself, I'm David Njenka. I work for Advanta Seed Company. And Advanta Seed Company, we mainly concentrate on the seed business, ensuring that farmers are able to get quality seeds, and does it reach the final destination of the farmer. And we have a variety of seeds, and the variety range from the field crops, vegetables, and forages. And one of our key flagship seeds is grain sorghum and forage sorghum, and the other one is we have maize, and we have oil seeds, and we have the forages. And it has been great working with TwoScale because we have been able to be linked to these dairy cooperatives where we have distributed our seeds, and farmers are able to derive the benefit of our seeds in that our varieties are hybrid seeds, so they are able to withstand some things. Number one, they are able to withstand some disease and also short maturity because they're hybrids, higher in nutrition, and therefore it means that animals are able to convert these feeds into better quality of milk and higher yield. And apart from the linkage to the cooperative, also you have been able to link us to there is Nyeri Feeds Alliance, where it's a big forum. We are working with the whole county and other counties. In these forums, we are able to connect with the commercial dairy farmers, and we are also able to connect with the commercial silage producers. And these commercial silage producers are able to purchase our seeds, and therefore we make some good profit out of this business. And the other thing is that we have been able to receive feedback from various farmers at the cooperative level when we do trainings, and these trainings help us to improve in terms of the quality of our products. Through the feedback we have been able to get from the farmers, we have developed another line that should be getting to the farmers very soon, and this is a fodder variety that has higher digestibility. We call it the brown midrib sorghum. Therefore, it means that the animal will be able to use less feed and be able to convert it to higher yield. So all this is courtesy of TwoScale, and we owe a lot to TwoScale. Looking back, even when we were starting our operations here in Kenya, TwoScale also supported us in terms of registration of some of our products because we just came in and the TwoScale was also very young, and in terms of helping us lobby and advocate for registration of these varieties, TwoScale played a very critical role, considering that this is a very new segment, and majority of the people in the regulatory forum, they were a bit reserved in terms of ensuring our products are registered, but through lobby and advocacy, we were able to get there. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much. Asante sana. How do we ensure actually companies like Advanta, who have proven concepts that they have high yielding, climate resilient, and better product, that they are promoted to try and support our farmers? Of course, we know they are fake product in the market, isn't it? Yeah. But how do we working together as stakeholders, ship out such companies and help them to reach to our farmers, work with companies like Mercy or KDPL or Meru Dairy and others? That has been the challenge, and because also as a program we are not able to know which company to work with sometimes, and that's why sometimes we require government agencies, and most of the time require government agencies, actually the Prastatos, Caldro, Kefis, and all these people to make sure that we have the right people in market supporting farmers. So thank you, David. I know for sure Advanta is also working on the ground to support the agrovets who supply your product. You're supplying service provider who provide silage on the ground, and by the end of the day, the cows are also happy feeding the product coming from your seeds, and so much. Thank you so much. Now I turn to Judy. Judy, you've been our business support service provider since 2019. How has it been working with TwoScale and supporting all these businesses?
Thank you very much, Eliud. Good morning, everyone. My name is Judy Kithenji from a company called Policy and Market Options, PMO. We are in TwoScale language, business support service provider. We have been working with TwoScale since 2019, supporting Kieni Dairy Products Limited, based in Nyeri.
When we started working with TwoScale, we had previously worked with other development organizations such as SNV, supporting also implementation of their dairy program that ran for 6 years, and other partners. Coming to TwoScale in 2019, and their concept was working with a business champion who probably in other organizations also call a lead farm, that is working with the primary cooperatives or primary producers to be able to get a product. So the challenge is, how do we improve efficiency so that KDPL is able to get the product, good quality product, but also in terms of quantities, and be able to scale their business, including also going into value addition. So it was a different model, I would say, but also quite innovative, because now besides just looking at we as the BSS working with the farmers and providing training, we were also looking at how do we bring in other actors, including the government, including the private sector, what David has just talked about here. Because when you look at the farm level, at productivity, the farmer is depending a lot on so many other companies or other people to support them. They need inputs, that's fodder. They need, for example, vets. They need other service providers, and we brought in a concept that we had tried at SNV, bringing in youth into service provision, youth service providers being able to make silage and support farmers who would like to go into making silage, because as we know, one of the biggest challenges we have in Kenya is rain-fed production, and we know how much we have dry seasons where when we have a lot of rain, we have so much milk. You go to the processors and they are even the storage space, they don't have storage space for milk. Then we are going to September now, it's going to be quite dry. The month of March, of also January to March before the rains is also very dry. There is no milk. So then the concept of getting farmers to have fodder for dry season was very key, and that is something that has worked very well in TwoScale, culminating in what you had David talk about, a Feeds Alliance that has been formed in Nyeri, and this one is looking at farmers who have, slightly bigger sizes of land, like 5 acres, who want to dedicate their farms to fodder production, first for their own use, but also for sale, excess fodder to other farmers. We're also focusing on farmers who are 50 acres. Nyeri, especially Kieni East and West, have the farmers have big sizes of land. So there are those farmers who have hundreds of acres of land, and we are also trying to look at them and see how they can produce fodder. And for us to do this and also be very sustainable, a concept also that is very unique to TwoScale called the Agribusiness Cluster Model, where you work with other agribusinesses. And that's where also the concept of inclusivity comes in, because the businesses that are doing business with the farmers also have an obligation to be able to support these farmers, to be able to increase their production, and also produce the lead farm or the champion to be able to take these products to the market. So all of us coming together and looking at the issues and the challenges, and how do we get this farmer to produce enough, to produce good quality, to take it to the market, and for KDPL also to be able to have a product that is good for the base of the pyramid consumers. So we have a whole cluster of agribusinesses that we work with in KDPL, which is a very unique model to the TwoScale program that I think is also, is something that can be replicated in many other areas, because it brings also the issue of sustainability. Project sustainability, but also environmental sustainability if we look at the issues of climate change that we are facing currently. I know I could talk and talk and talk because we've been doing this since 2019, and I've seen a lot of progress from where we started to where we are now.
Businesses like Meru Union, Meru Dairy, paying for such services as they grow. And I know for sure organizations like Mercy and KDPL, as they grow, they'll be able to afford services from BSSs like you. So we'll come back to you if time allows, but let me come back to George. George, I know TwoScale, as Judy said, many products that we promote, many innovations, many thematic areas. And I know you lead in base of pyramid, access to nutritious and safe foods, and also private sector development, among others. Of course, we have 8 of them. We have youth inclusion, we have women economic empowerment, we have agribusiness business cluster formations and access to inputs. We have financial inclusion, among many others. So what next? What opportunities do you see as a practitioner within TwoScale going forward, such a club? What opportunities do you see what role do you see them playing to entrench inclusivity going forward?
Thank you, Eliud. Good morning. My name is Njero George. I work for TwoScale as a BOP coordinator. And as a term that is being dropped, I would not like to assume that everyone is familiar with the term BOP. BOP stands for base of pyramid. So if you draw a pyramid, at the base of that pyramid, that's where you have most of the consumers. And those of you who have practiced sales and marketing, you must have come across the term mass market. So mass market just means the majority. So when you look at the African markets, the majority of the consumers are people who are earning maybe around $5 to $8 a day, or spending, not earning necessarily. So those are the consumers we call Mwananchi, just the local consumer, the you and me, who need to buy maybe something that costs 5 shillings, 10 shillings on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. So as my colleagues have put it here, that we've come a long way, and what I do 2 roles in TwoScale. One of them is a bit agricultural, and I've really worked with some of these business champions, including Sweet and Dried, whose products I'm a passionate consumer. So I encourage you to go and get your charm booster. Those of you who've heard the term Uji Power, you can ditch it for charm booster. It's better, just on a light note. But to Eliud's question, what I see from this event is businesses coming together, and as TwoScale, we are in phase 2 right now. As TwoScale phase 2 approaches its tail end sometimes next year, we are looking at sustainability of the businesses that are in the value chains. So whether you're a service provider, whether you're the business service support, whether you're in the private sector, or whether you're the business champion, or whether you're a micro-entrepreneur offering maybe transport services, we are looking at leaving these value chains able to sustain themselves in terms of the businesses working together. Let me give a practical example. In what the ingredients Mercy uses in making the porridge, some of them include palm millet and things like sorghum and cassava. A business champion that is here, Tegemeo, is able to do planting, work with farmers, aggregate and sell sorghum. So instead of Mercy going far away to look for the sorghum, she can just drive across in the same county to Tegemeo and purchase the sorghum that she needs. If she needs another, say, a hybrid seed, she'll be able to go to Advanta and buy the seed. So we are looking at fostering a climate of inclusive business happening within the value chains and then going without. Going without, I mean doing things like export. For example, we are working very closely with Sweet and Dried to have food system safety certification 22,000, for which they have made great strides. So that means that they are going to be able to export their dried fruits and dried vegetables and the charm booster porridge to markets that are outside Kenya. So as TwoScale, we're also looking at, as part of private sector development, we are looking at enabling or fostering a climate of working together with the business champions and also other businesses that are within Africa and also outside Africa. So there's a lot of entrepreneurship support in terms of training, business coaching, helping businesses have things like SOPs. What is SOPs? Standard operating procedures, sorry. HR manuals, finance, helping the business in terms of finance, being compliant with the taxation so that they're able to export, and also so that they are able to pay tax in the country and support our economy to grow. We did a training for Africa free trade. I think it's some time, so incubate means we look at a business champion that is inclusive, they're including the youth, the women, the small MSMEs. We, like the way a chicken incubates the eggs, we protect them, we help them to grow and to make the right steps. And then when they are ready, we accelerate them. We push them to the deep end of the swimming pool so that now they can fly away and grow.
Thank you so much. I think we don't have a lot of time. Maybe we could have gone for another round. But at least you got the clue of how we are working. The business case approach. We highly encourage other projects and programs to work with the private sector to reach everyone. You reach the farmer, you reach the consumer, you reach other businesses. And I hope we are almost convincing you the two-scale model works, because we have seen it in action and it's working. Mercy has been here. We have seen people like Batian there. The other day you were in TV showing people in the Raka on how to cook using groundnut in their local cuisine. And for sure, businesses like those are really making a change in the community. They came there to trade in groundnut, but they now becomes agents of change. So thank you so much, George. Thank you so much, panelists. I don't know whether we can do one or two questions before before our panel is disbursed. So when MC, take over.
All right, so do we have any one or two reactions or questions or clarifications? One from a lady and one from a gentleman. I have a gentleman, now I'm looking for a lady. We are inclusive, so we need to be practical. So in exactly 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. My name is Calvin Sonyuka. I work with the Cereal Growers Association, and I also work in the young people space, and also I'm a young person. Young people who are involved in business, they've got a lot of challenges, and one of them is the issues of branding. And Mercy, I'm glad that you've branded your company and the business Sweet and Dried. So I would like to ask, because small businesses that are being run by young people is difficult to brand, because the process of certification, for example, you're involved in value addition. I'm sure you have got certification from KEBS. So how do you go about that? Because it's a journey, and there's also some amount that is required. So if you could share your experience, how we can jangle about that, it will be helpful. Thank you.
All right, Mercy, before you respond to that, do we have any reaction from any lady in the house? Going once? Going twice? Any gentleman who would like to throw in? Yeah, good.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eliud Washira. I work at MESP as the Credit and Business Development Manager. My question goes to Mercy, and possibly also we can pick a further discussion. You mentioned that one of the challenges that you had was the investment in the infrastructure. Would you share a little bit on what steps did you take to close that barrier? Thank you.
All right, so Mercy, the two questions: how did you go about branding, and about the investment on infrastructure?
Thank you so much for the questions. I'll start by addressing the one from the young man there. I think what I realized, my experience, is there is also a misconception that these things are expensive. You'll be surprised that for you to have your product certified in KEBS, for micro enterprises, it's actually costs 5,800 shillings. But mostly when you go to consult the big brand, the big boys in the market, they always tell you, because they are ratings actually. My advice would be, because nowadays we have KEBS offices in the different regions, Mount Kenya region and these other places, it's to just go to the office and have a discussion with them. What we did as Sweet and Dried actually is exactly what I've told you. We went and told them this is our proposed product, and the KEBS officer was actually sent to us. I think the government is really working on improving this to make sure that many people are coming up in the manufacturing space. And he worked with us on the basic. Actually, KEBS has the basic requirements: hand washing points, ensuring the place is clean, and you don't need a big factory for you to be certified. Even if you're in a small 10 by 10 room and it meets the food safety standards, then it is you're able to get the certification. But the other thing that really helped us was also to work with not only to scale, there are also institutions that support on product development. Kirdi is a good one because they have a facility where even if you don't have a lab, you can go and do product development and have your product all the way to certification. So even if you're a young person or you want to start up in manufacturing and you don't have a facility where you can start off, set up your factory, you can also work with the Kirdi centers. They are also in the constituencies, and they are always open. So those for me would be my 2 starting points for anyone who is coming up in the manufacturing space before you even go to the next level of now having your own facility. That is the basic. Also in terms of the branding, Kenya is rated among the highest consumers of technology, and there are so many young people actually, even if you post today in Facebook that I want to have a logo for my company, so many young people will say, I'm interested, how much are you offering? And someone will say, 1,000 shillings, and I'll design for you a good logo. Actually, that is where we started. We used the WordPress. Even for your website, before you go to the big scale, start from the free templates that are there. So that's how we can go about it. To answer the one for infrastructure, we have not completely crossed the infrastructure because the company is growing. We need to invest more in the setup of the factory, but we also partnered again with Kenya Industrial Estates, which is a government institution. So for Sweet and Dried, not only the development partners, there are also easier loans for infrastructure that you can get from Kenya Industrial Estates. So that's how we maneuvered. Thank you.
All right. And I think if I heard him right, he's a manager in charge of probably giving loans.
Yes.
He just wanted to know whether you still need the money.
Yes, and we need to further the discussion. Yes, we'll further the discussion and make sure I connect. That's why we are here for the business club. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, one MC, just to reveal, Eliud just gave our business champion, one of the affiliate circle, 100 million. Was it last week? So you can clap for him, actually. Yes, yes.
Eliud, I have an inclusive business. Just kidding. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to our panelists. So what I'd like them to do is I'd like them to come and stand right in front here, and then we'll take a nice photo of our panelists, and then we'll celebrate them. Just here. Yeah, just here. Just move ahead here. Great. And then you can smile. This is what we will use in the next year's poster for the inclusive business. Another round of applause for them. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please have your seats. All right, so just to conclude on this first phase of today's event, we have our keynote speaker, and just before that, I'd like the following representatives of companies to probably step outside. Lillian Zilani, who is here, wants to have a chat with you. So that is Real IPM, So Real IPM, representative, if you're here, kindly just step outside. Farm on Fire. Farm on Fire, please step outside. Linda Lishe Foods. Linda Lishe Foods. Please step outside. Wonders Tropical Farming Innovation. Wonders Tropical Farming Innovation, please step outside. Strathmore. Representative from Strathmore, kindly step outside. Green Without Borders. Green Without Borders. And finally, Savannah Honey. One more time, Real IPM, Farm on Fire, Linda Lishe Foods, Wonders Tropical Farming Innovation, Strathmore, Green Without Borders, and Savannah Honey. Sorry? KDPL as well. So if you are representative of KDPL, please go and see Lillian, actually at the exhibition area. All right, so after our keynote address, we will take a group photo. Our group photo will be down there. So I will kindly ask all of us to go down there. We'll take a group photo, and then we will do a guided tour to the exhibition area. So it's very important to note. Once our keynote address is over, I will come on stage and guide us to proceed to our group photo area, which is downstairs. And then after that, we will proceed to the guided tour area. So at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to welcome on stage the first Secretary of Economic Affairs at the Embassy of Kingdom of Netherlands. That is Ms. Marieke Holscher. I believe I pronounced it really well. If not, then I will make it my password for my Gmail. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a round of applause as she makes her way on stage. Let's give her a better round of applause. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone. Thanks to Skill for inviting us, and Kenaf as well for welcoming us here at this venue. We're of course very happy to be here today at the Inclusive Business Club launch. The Netherlands, as most of you will know, has been a very big supporter of Skill since its beginning. So also in Kenya. But why? It's because, just like Skill, the Netherlands believes that inclusivity, especially in agriculture, is a key driver for change. But achieving that type of inclusivity is definitely not easy. The Netherlands, in its multi-annual country strategy that we just launched, recognizes this, because on the one hand, we see a Kenya that has a thriving economy with a motor almost for the East African development, which is in which investors and entrepreneurs know to find their way. But on the other hand, we see that this growth is really not felt by everyone. Many people in Kenya experience the consequences of drought, poverty, and exclusion based on gender, but also on age. Kenya has one of the highest percentages of youth unemployment in Eastern Africa. So how do we collectively bring these two Kenyas together? How can we make sure that we leave no one behind and that everyone can benefit of this economic growth? I think we can all agree that inclusion is the key, but that's easier said than done. It can be done, however, by developing PPPs that implement innovative interventions that support the inclusion of smallholder farmers, base of pyramid consumers, micro-entrepreneurs, youth, and women. And through the Skill program, we get a small glimpse into how this could be done. The experiences in Kenya show us that impact can be made through partnerships. We see impact on access to food, improving livelihood, and we can even reach scale through effective collaboration. Therefore, today's Inclusive Business Club launch is an important step in bringing inclusive business further. Because when we discuss best practices and share our lessons learned with stakeholders, such as all of yourselves, we can continue to promote inclusive business and make sure that we grow our impact. And therefore, I encourage you that today you share your experiences and knowledge You build your network and you learn from the knowledge and experiences of others. So that together we can work on leaving no one behind in Kenya. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. That was very time conscious. Let's another round of applause to. All right. So at this juncture, I'd like all of us to congregate at where we'll have our photo session. It's exactly downstairs. So what I will ask us to do is to exit through that door. We will all proceed and congregate down there. Mr. Eric is down there, I believe, waiting for us. He will be able to help us be prepared. And then after that, we will go for the guided tour. The guided tour is all at the exhibition area. Then after that, we will take our tea. We expect all this to take exactly 30 minutes. All right? So in exactly 30 minutes, we should have congregated there, taken a photo, done our guided tour, and taken our tea. So why don't we all make our way outside? Asante. I'll see you here in 30 minutes. All right. I still see a few of us seated. We are consuming part of our 30 minutes. Yeah, let's take the conversation downstairs even as we talk.
understand. Understand.
How to get the most of Grammarly free.
It's Kayla on behalf of Grammarly to tell you all about the free version of the best communication assistant in the world. Millions have chosen to go beyond their default grammar checkers and use Grammarly. My cousin Izzy, a graphic designer, is one of them. Izzy loves how quick and reliable Grammarly is at providing feedback. Another reason Izzy signed up for Grammarly is its conciseness suggestions, something she wasn't getting from default grammar checkers. Grammarly notices wordiness and helps her rephrase this hard-to-read sentence with one click. Izzy's tone is on point, so she uses Grammarly's tone detector to show how a reader may understand her writing. Here, Izzy's email is optimistic, friendly, and admiring. Izzy sends the email confident that it's mistake-free, concise, and on target. And what did it cost her? All of it was free.
Download for free at Grammarly.com. Grammarly, one of the best AI-powered tools.
To Scale is a project that is being implemented by a consortium of partners. The partners are SNB, International Fertilizer Development Center, and BOPINC. BOPINC is a base of the Pyramid Innovation Center. For this particular project, we identify a business champion. The business champion for this particular partnership is ENP.
To Scale, when they came, it was a very timely partnership. If you look at the raw materials that we procure, as this division, maize, in essence, we don't get so much challenge. But when it came to soybeans, we realized that was an area that was really pulling us back in terms of our processing. To Scale came, they told us they can help our farmers with agronomical skills, with issues of production, using climate smart agriculture, sourcing of certified seeds, and training farmers how they can maximize production.
The business champion works closely with another organization. In To Scale, we call it a business support service, BSS, and we got in touch with ADS, Anglican Development Services, Western.
When we set out with To Scale, it was about promoting the soybean. We wanted to increase production of soybeans. We wanted to increase incomes, household incomes.
In this project, our entry point is through groups, the common interest groups, who produce soya after being trained adequately on production at GAP, that's good agricultural practices, and post-harvest handling.
Sisi wanashembeho tulikaa pamoja na tukatengeneza kundi hiki ita Shepam.
Aya, FFS.
Mimi ni mkulima wa soya na ninafanya na value addition ya soya. Na nikiwa chini ya ADS, hao ndio walinipeleka training ya kujifunza kulima soya.
The moment nilikaa kwa darasa la production upande wa ADS, vile walinipatia mwelekeo, nilipata ya kwamba kumbe kunayo mbolea tofauti tofauti, mfano mazao flourish.
Hii mazao flourish na crop plus germination sa 100% hata kama mvua hakuna.
We had to cross over the border to actually get seed. So for us to be able to have about 19 tons of seed produced within the communities, we have trained 20 community seed bulkers.
Wakati walinipea mbegu, nikapata hiyo mbegu na nikaipanda. Nilipoipanda, nikavuna. Nilipovuna, walipeana kama group. Tukagawana sasa hiyo group yetu, tukaanza kumultiply hii mbegu ili tupate soya nyingi.
We were able to recruit, train what we call mini aggregators. So the mini aggregators aggregated at community level. ADS Western would then aggregate from the mini aggregators, and the equatorial nut processors give an assured market for the soybean.
Wako ready kununua kutoka kwetu. Walitupatia at least a reasonable price kuliko vile tulikuwa tunauza kwa soko.
They were selling most of the produce that they are getting to equatorial nut processors, and they were remaining with about 10 to 20% that they were consuming at the household level.
We started now encouraging farmers to do value addition.
Some of them are now able to acquire space within which they can run a business.
ADS limenielekeza zaidi, limenipa mafundisho, ninaweza kufanya value addition. Na hiyo value addition ninaona inaongeza pesa kwa mfuko. Utapata kwamba ninatoa maziwa, kuna fresh milk, kuna yogurt, kando na maziwa ninaunda beef rage.
Initially they were doing it in a traditional way where they could use the mortar, but through To Scale project we were able to support them with 25 soya kits.
Inaitwa soya kit. Kuna components tofauti tofauti. Scale ni lazima nipime kiwango. ndio niweze kujua kiwango ya maji ambayo nitaweza kuweka. Kunayo measuring cup, kunayo grinder, niko na kichungi ya kuchunga. Hii blender itatumika kwa grind kabla niipike kwa maziwa. Gloves hizi zinatumika kwa wakati wa kutoa ile machicha. Hii ni food thermometer, inatumika wakati wa kuunda maziwa yako ya yogurt. Nitaifunika for 7 hours na ninaweka kwa hii bag. Hii bag inanisaidia ku maintain that temperature. Hii ilikuwa nipatia muda mrefu. Muda yenye ningechukua hapa kitu kama 3 hours, pale nachukua 30 minutes na niko through. Kwa siku saa naweza tengeneza 10 liters.
Hii soya tena katika kikundi huwa tunasiaga, tunapata unga, na ule unga huwa tunatengeneza ndani bidhaa mingi. Tuna crunches, tuna keki, tuna chapati, tuna mandazi, tuna cookies na vingine vingi. Ule unga pia tunapeleka sokoni. Sana sana huwa unatumika kwa wanafunzi wachanga wa ECD.
The most popular soya product that is quite popular here with the children is porridge, because they take it every morning.
They are supposed to utilize these soy kits within a period of 6 months. After the elapse of 6 months, the idea is they will have generated enough income after selling the soybean value-added products to be able to invest in their own soy kits. And then now, the soy kit that we supported them with, we are now going to support another group.
Kwa saa hii, nimepanda eka 2.5 pure stand. Na kando na pure stand, niko pia na intercrop. Intercrop penye nimeweka pamoja na mahindi, na kuna ingine nimeweka pamoja na mihogo. Kwa hivyo naona kupitia katika hii hali, nimeweza kuwalea familia yangu bila kuwa na wasiwasi.
ToScale is a project that is being implemented by a consortium of partners. The partners are SNB, International Fertilizer Development Center, and BOPINC. BOPINC is the base of the Pyramid Innovation Center. For this particular project, we identify a business champion. The business champion for this particular partnership is ENP.
ToScale, when they came, it was a very timely partnership. If you look at the raw materials that we procure, as this division, maize, in essence, we don't get so much challenge. But when it came to soybeans, we realized that was an area that was really pulling us back in terms of our processing. ToScale came, they told us they can help our farmers with agronomical skills, with issues of production, using climate-smart agriculture, sourcing of certified seeds, and training farmers how they can maximize production.
The business champion works closely with another organization. In ToScale, we call it a business support service, BSS, and we got in touch with ADS, Anglican Development Services, Western.
When we set out with ToScale, it was about promoting the soybean. We wanted to increase production of soybeans. We wanted to increase incomes, household incomes.
In this project, our entry point is through groups, the common interest groups, who produce soya after being trained adequately on the production at GAP, that's good agricultural practices, and post-harvest handling.
Sisi wanashembeho tulikaa pamoja na tukatengeneza kikundi hiki kinachojiita Shepam.
Haya, FFS.
Mimi ni mkulima wa soya na ninafanya na value addition ya soya. Na nikiwa chini ya ADS, hao ndio walinipeleka training ya kujifunza kulima soya.
The moment nilikaa kwa darasa la production upande wa ADS, vile walinipatia mwelekeo. nilipata ya kwamba kumbe kunayo mbolea tofauti tofauti, mfano mazao flourish.
Hii mazao flourish na crop plus germination sa 100% hata kama mvua hakuna.
We had to cross over the border to actually get seed. So for us to be able to have about 19 tons of seed produced within the communities, we have trained 20 community seed bulkers.
Wakati walinipea mbegu, nikapata hiyo mbegu na nikaipanda. Nilipoipanda, nikavuna. Nilipovuna, walipeana kama group. Tukagawana sasa hiyo group yetu, tukaanza kumultiply hii mbegu ili tupate soya nyingi.
We were able to recruit, train what we call mini aggregators. So the mini aggregators aggregated at community level. ADS Western would then aggregate from the mini aggregators, and the equatorial nut processors give an assured market for the soybean.
Wako ready kununua kutoka kwetu. Walitupatia at least a reasonable price kuliko vile tulikuwa tunauza kwa soko.
They were selling most of the produce that they are getting to equatorial nut processors, and they were remaining with about 10 to 20% that they were consuming at the household level.
We started now encouraging farmers to do value addition.
Some of them are now able to acquire space within which they can run a business.
ADS limenielekeza zaidi, limenipa mafundisho, ninaweza kufanya value addition, na hiyo value addition ninaona inaongeza pesa kwa mfuko. Utapata kwamba ninatoa maziwa, kuna fresh milk, kuna yogurt, kando na maziwa ninaunda beef rage.
Initially they were doing it in a traditional way where they could use the mortar, but through two-scale project we were able to support them with 25 soya kits.
Inaitwa soya kits. Kuna components tofauti tofauti. Scale ni lazima nipime kiwango ndio niweze kujua kiwango ya maji ambayo nitaweza kuweka. Kunayo measuring cup, kunayo grinder, niko na kichungi ya kuchunga. Hii blender itatumika kwa grind kabla niipike kwa maziwa. Gloves hizi zinatumika kwa wakati wa kutoa ile machicha. Hii ni food thermometer, inatumika wakati wa kuunda maziwa yako ya yogurt. Nitaifunika for 7 hours na ninaweka kwa hii bag. Hii bag inanisaidia ku maintain that temperature. Hii ilikuwa nipatia muda mrefu. Muda yenye ningechukua hapa kitu kama 3 hours, pale nachukua 30 minutes na niko through. Kwa siku saa naweza tengeneza 10 liters.
Hii soya tena katika kikundi huwa tunasiaga, tunapata unga, na ule unga huwa tunatengeneza ndani bidhaa mingi. Tuna crunches, tuna keki, tuna chapati, tuna mandazi, tuna cookies na vingine vingi. Ule unga pia tunapeleka sokoni. Sana sana huwa unatumika kwa wanafunzi wachanga wa ECD.
The most popular soya product that is quite popular here with the children is porridge, because they take it every morning.
They are supposed to utilize these soy kits within a period of 6 months. After the elapse of 6 months, the idea is they will have generated enough income after selling the soybean value-added products to be able to invest in their own soy kits. And then now, the soy kit that we supported them with, we are now going to support another group.
Kwa saa hii, nimepanda eka 2.5 pure stand. Na kando na pure stand, niko pia na intercrop. Intercrop penye nimeweka pamoja na mahindi, na kuna ingine nimeweka pamoja na mihogo. Kwa hivyo naona kupitia katika hii hali, nimeweza kuwalea familia yangu bila kuwa na wasiwasi.
To Scale is a project that is being implemented by a consortium of partners. The partners are SNV, International Fertilizer Development Center, and Bopink.
Access to the Farmers Video Library has been made easier. The Kenaf Video Library is your digital platform to access free, high-quality learning videos and texts, as well as support the farmers' daily work in agriculture. The platform seeks to provide small-scale farmers access to a broad range of specific knowledge to improve their production, hence food security and increased household income, enable farmer organizations to offer direct value to its members, and to set up a digital platform for information sharing and exchange among farmers. This project targets the farmers, research institutions, scholars, prospectus farmers, extension service providers, and farmer organizations. This platform is optimized for mobile use and operational on other devices including your computer, and all you need is to create an account. To create an account using your phone, open browser, type in or paste the link https://kenaf.fo-library.org or scan the QR codes. Click on the icon with 3 bars on the right top corner of your device and a drop-down will appear. Scroll up till you see the register form. Enter the requirements and click on the button before I have read and agreed. Click on the register button to finish your registration. Confirm that you have fully registered by clicking the login button and enter your username and password and click the login button.
Production, that's good technical practices, and post-harvest handling.
Access to the Farmers Video Library has been made easier. The Kenaf Video Library is your digital platform to access free, high-quality learning videos and texts, as well as support the farmers' daily work in agriculture. The platform seeks to provide small-scale farmers access to a broad range of specific knowledge to improve their production, hence food security and increased household income, enable farmer organizations to offer direct value to its members, and to set up a digital platform for information sharing and exchange among farmers. This project targets the farmers, research institutions, scholars, prospectus farmers, extension service providers, and farmer organizations. This platform is optimized for mobile use and operational on other devices including your computer, and all you need is to create an account. To create an account using your phone, open browser, type in or paste
Agriculture is the main source of livelihood for numerous households in Kenya. But in recent years, climate change has greatly affected crop production, resulting in poor yields, especially in arid and semi-arid lands, where drought and famine has become a common feature, detrimental to food and nutrition security. To remedy the situation, 2Scale, working in partnership with Tegemeo Cereals Enterprise Limited, have introduced and are enhancing the production and consumption of drought-resistant biofortified pearl millet, an improved millet variety, high-yielding and drought-resistant that is helping curb cases of malnutrition as well as benefit smallholder farmers as they increase their income.
2Scale, they supported Tegemeo to buy biofortified pearl millet because it is very much expensive. Also, supporting Tegemeo to facilitate KEFIs to come to inspect crop to the field so that farmers will be able to access quality input and at affordable prices.
Ukiangalia kwa hii Bio45 inamachua mapema, inachukua kama miezi 3 hivi, miezi 3 na nusu. Ukikombea na ile ya zamani inakaa kama miezi 4, miezi 5 hapo kitambo ikomae.
Despite this rising demand, the availability of sufficient quantities of biofortified pearl millet seeds remains a challenge for many smallholder farmers and aggregators like Tegemeo. Seed multiplication of biofortified pearl millet seed is a viable solution to this challenge, and this is currently underway thanks to the 2Scale and Tegemeo partnership in collaboration with Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services, KEFIS, who ensures production of quality seed is well adhered to initiate farmer-led solution towards adequate quantities of biofortified seeds. Currently, 200 farmers are carrying out community seed multiplication of biofortified pearl millet on 80 hectares of land in Tharaka Nithi County. They use conservation agriculture, changing the narrative from poor production to better food sufficiency.
Conservation agriculture entails to 3 factors. That is the minimum tillage of the soil, crop cover, and crop rotation. When these 3 factors are constant, the production is very high as compared to the traditional method of farming, whereby when you come to root preparation, you plow all the area. But when you come to conservation agriculture, you only plow where you are going to plant.
Wakati wa zamani tulikuwa tunalima either na ng'ombe ama unalima na tractor, lakini wakati huu tunatandika kama ni hii manyasi na unakonserve mchanga isiwe kusiwe na erosion yoyote. Na inakuwa machue nini na manure ya kutosha. Inatusaidia sana. Hata ukipanda mbegu inapiki vizuri.
To ensure the quality of the seed multiplied by farmers, the partnership has enlisted the support of KEFIS to conduct regular inspection for quality control.
For pearl millet, we do 2 inspections. The first inspection at flowering stage and the second inspection at maturity, like for this one. We can look at the shape of the head, the color of the grain. Then another thing we look at during the inspection is the seed-borne diseases. If we have many number of off-types, we are able to determine whether to approve or decline the crop.
2Scale has shown that in the concept of inclusive business, farmers and other entrepreneurs can work together for mutual benefit that is ideal, practical and effective.
Bila nilipewa hiyo mbegu nikapanda, imenisaidia kufungua my small business pale Trimatoro Market. Niliuza ngunia 6, nikabakisha 2 ya kutumia nyumbani na ikanipatia 36,000. Kupitia 36,000 iliniwezesha kufungua biashara yangu ya cereals ambayo imenisaidia nika-extend pia nikafungua M-Pesa.
Demand for improved porridge flour from low-income consumer has also significantly increased, opening an opportunity for use of biofortified grains.
Tulikuwa tunalala njaa sana kwa sababu tulikuwa tunachukua mbegu kutoka kwa ngunia zile tunaweka kwa nyumba tunapanda. Tukipanda hakuna kitu tunavuna. Lakini wakati huu tunaenda tunanunua mbegu, tunakuja tunapanda, tunapata mavuno zaidi. Inda atigiri nyakwirana cibitari nonto kagita ka mbere aguru anaruru akoro kororwerwe nonto ntare nkwamberia kwanda mwere oju ndagaranke bya cibitari mara mara ndi sibitari mweri ukithira ndi sibitari lakini endi ogu rwana rwako rwegirwe rwena apia mbega na ero mbega muno ya mwili. Hiyo maweri iko na uji tamu sana, na nikienda nikitengeneza uji kama hii ya kuzaga kwa njigwe iko na afya. Kipatia watoto wako watakuwa na nguvu zaidi.
If you have some space, say yay. If you are looking, say nay. Those nays, we are giving you 3 seconds to look for that space. If you turn, so that if you turn like this, you're not hitting anyone. Remember, we don't have a standby ambulance. We don't have a standby ambulance. So make sure you just stretch a bit, you know, do things until you hear. Have you heard that? All right, DJ, do you have something for us? How many people, when is the last time you went out or you danced to a good music? You either went out or you danced to a good music. And techno is not a good music. That is for gym people. All right. All right, so DJ, let me explain to them what we want to do. So we assume we are around Nyayo Stadium roundabout. You know that Nyayo Stadium roundabout? What do we all know it for? What do we all know Nyayo Stadium roundabout for? For traffic, right? And you stay there for a very long time. So during traffic, you find a lot of people who are selling, hawkers. They're always selling something to you. So I want us to buy peanuts. So tell your neighbor peanuts. So assume Batian are the ones hawking the peanuts along that Nyayo Stadium. So how do we buy peanuts? We'll buy 1, 2. Everybody buy 1, 2. One more time. Let's go. 1, 2. One more time. 1, 2. Now, after buying peanuts, in an African culture, you just don't eat them like that. You want to remove the covering, all right? So we're going to remove the peels. Is it the peels or the covering? Skin, peels. All right, it's the peels. You guys are not experts. Now you're calling it husks. Others are saying maize cobs. All right, so this is how we remove the peels, okay? And then when you remove the peels, you always blow it away. All right, we will do what? All right, so 3 steps. So let's buy the peanuts. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Buy. Buy. One more time. Buy. Buy. One more time. Buy. Buy. Remove the peel. Remove the peel. Blow it away. Blow it away. And then because these are njugu, we call it njugu. Na utamu wa njugu ni kuikula moja mo. So I will want you to throw it and then position yourself. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Throw and then you eat it the way South Africans eat. Like, are we clear? Now we are almost there. So let's do all the steps and then we see where we are at. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. We buy. 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 And then peel. 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 One more time. Peel. 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 Blow it away. Again, blow it away. And then eat it. 20. Are we clear? All right, now let's do it with music a bit. All right, DJ, do you have one? So you were just there, you're standing, you're at the stadium, and you remember those traffic police are always like this. Let's go. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Everybody back. Bye. Let's go. Bye. You want to eat it? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Rusha hewa, and then you wait for it. Let's go. I see we are getting somewhere. Now let's help our friends from Netherlands. Let's go, everybody! All right, thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Clap for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now that I know we are all warmed up and ready, We want to go now to our next phase of the conversation, and at this juncture, it's a panel discussion, and then thereafter we'll have a few Q&As, and I'd like to invite my panelists. I'll start with, and this is Youth and Women Inclusion in Agribusiness. Remember, our rallying call is Inclusion Business Club. And at this juncture, I'd like to invite Charity Kinywa from Tegemeo Youth. Charity Kinywa, who is a Tegemeo and is youth, from Tegemeo rather, and is youth. Let's give her a round of applause. Come on, let's give her a better round of applause. Yeah, give her a bit of confidence. Yeah, we always told youth are the leaders of tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes because our leaders never grow old. You could sit on the other end. I'd like to invite our next speaker, Ms. Beatrice Nyongesa. Ms. Beatrice Nyongesa is from ADS. She's a smallholder farmer and a micro-entrepreneur. So, Beatrice Nyongesa, uko pande gani? Mama Nyongesa, umeenda ako wapi? Ndio huyo. Tumpigie makofi as she makes her way. Come on, let's give her a better round of applause. Karibu sana, karibu sana. And then I'd also like to invite Mr. Richard Ndegwa. Mr. Richard Ndegwa is a service provider and entrepreneur from KDPL Partnership. Let's give Ndegwa makofi. He comes from Kieni Dairy Products Limited. That's the company. And where is he? Oh, yeah, there we go. Abana Ndegwa. He came really early. He just came from milking his cows and then straight to this place. And you know, in Kenya, we milk at 4 a.m. So from 4:30, he's been here. All right, I'd like to invite Gaudensia Ongwen, who is a micro-entrepreneur, Cottage Value Addition, ADSW. Gaudensia Ongwen. Let's give her a round of applause. And then I'd also like to invite Mr. Luke Kesei. Mr. Luke Kesei is a county association leader from Nakuru in the dairy sector. Mr. Luke Kesei is coming? Where is he? Why? Just kidding. All right, so Mr. Kene will come in later. Lucy Wangari, who is a KENAF Youth SME Horticulture. She's also known as Onion Doctor, or she represents Onion Doctor. Let's give her a round of applause. I believe if there are people making money right now are onion farmers. Have you guys seen those onion prices? So why don't you celebrate our millionaire as she makes her way on stage? Utatoa kakitu. We are waiting for you. And finally, to moderate this particular, I know I've seen Mr. Kesei coming in, so Bwana Kesei, karibu sana. Mr. Kesei is youthful at heart. Let's give him a round of applause, my good friend, Bwana Luke. All right, and finally, I think, yeah, this is your seat. And finally, I'd like to invite our moderator for this particular conversation. Ningependa kumwalika Mr. Theophilus Mudenge. Mr. Theophilus works at 2Scale at Youth Inclusion Coordinator. Let's give Mr. Mudenge a round of applause. Come on, let's give them a better round of applause. Karibu sana, karibu sana. So you guys have exactly 30 or so minutes to engage in your conversation, and then thereafter we'll have a Q&A session.
Good afternoon. After this presentation from the MC, so we are going to discuss around matters of inclusivity. So as you know, 2Scale works to make sure that youth and women, micro-entrepreneurs, and other actors are included in the different value chains we work on. So today discussion is going to look at different interventions and different activities and different impacts that are coming out from the inclusive agribusiness in different partnerships where we are working with. So I would want to start with our panelist introduction, and you can use either English or Kiswahili as you feel you are comfortable. I will start on my left with the young person, and I would want you to introduce yourself and also let the audience understand what you do as part of these activities.
Thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon. Nilikuwa nataka mchangamke kiasi. Okay, let me say I'm Charity Kenywa from Tharaka-Nithi County. And I'm proud to be here. It's another priority with that God for this good day that he has granted unto us. We are thankful for that. And let me also thank the two-scale team kwa kunichagua among other youths that tunafanyaga nao kazi. I have come to represent my dear youths that we usually work with in Tegemeo. Personally, I'm a farmer, and I also distribute Tegemeo inputs to the farmers. And let me also thank the Tegemeo company for where they have taken us as youths. In fact, before I came to Tegemeo, I saw my life quite different. I was feeling so desperate. I know the way forward, but so far so good. I think I am somewhere. I also give my gratitude to ThuScale for your support. You have really supported us as youths. You have conducted several trainings. We are thankful for that. You have really improved. I can comfortably tell other members that I can bake cake through the trainings that you have done to us. I can also make biscuits, these snacks, you see, kwa kutumia sorghum, not even the wheat flour that we are used to. I think that is it.
So thank you for sharing with us some of your achievements. And I would go to Mr. Richard, who is also part of the young people who are providing services in one of the partnerships, for him to tell us, as a young person, what is this kind of work or this service provision to other farmers? What is it helping you to achieve, and how does it improve your livelihood, and how does it impact the community you are working in?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Degwa Richard from Nyeri County, KDPL, Comparative, Ataragua Society, and I want to thank God because of this opportunity, and also the ThuScale, because ThuScale came to the comparative and got a youth. I'm one of the youth who was being trained, and I want to thank ThuScale because where they found me, I was having one cow, an average of 3 liters to 5, but for now I'm in average of 20 liters to 30 liters for 3 cows. And also in silage, the service I give farmers is to keep fodder and silage because of their cows, the dairy cows. And I want to thank ThuScale because there is a business in silage making and fodder keeping. Because I was thinking when I was at home where am I? But when the time to skill came, they give me ideas through training, and I realized that even here Machinani kuna biashara. That's where I started the keeping the silage, talking to youth and talking to farmers, and now there is a demand of silage making. Hata hatuonekani sana, but kuna biashara kwa silage. Kwa hivyo nafurahia hiyo maneno ya two skill KDPL kwa kutuinua sisi wana youth. Asante.
I will go to Beatrice. So you also, you've been working around these activities. So you as a young person, or you as a service provider, how is it helping you now to expand some of your vision, and how is it impacting your life, and how is it helping you to achieve some of your objectives?
Habari zenyu wote. Majina ni Beatrice Nyongeza. Natoka Busia Town. Mimi nikikaa hapa mbele yenu. Mimi penye nilitoka mbali. Na mimi mkimwangalia hivi, mimi nilitoroka mapema, kaenda nikaoleka mapema. Na hapo nikakaa na maisha polepole. Mwalimu wangu akaniona ni kama ninaenda nikianguka. Hapo akanishika mkono, kaniita kuja sehemu fulani, kuna chama inaendelea. Ambapo hapo nikaamuka, nikamshika mkono, tukaenda tukapata huko ADS. Na ambapo ADS ilikuja ikanipea changamoto, sikuwa najua chochote. Hapo tukaanza mambo ya kutoa pesa, savings. Hapo nikasimama nikawaambia, nimekuja kujiunga na nyinyi, nataka mnikopeshe kwa pesa nianzie biashara. Ambapo hapo nikaendelea na biashara yangu. Tukaendelea na sikuacha mwalimu wangu. Nikamwambia, mimi vile nimekuja nimepokea hizi pesa na nataka nianze biashara. Kwa biashara yangu nilikuja nikafanya. Kwa nauza hapo samaki na omena. After hapo nilimaliza 3 years nikifanya biashara. Ambapo we kama mtu wa biashara huwezi ukaacha biashara yako. Bahati mbaya mguu ikabaki kwa njia. Na sikuchoka. Nikamwambia mwalimu wangu, sasa kwa saizi vile mguu imebaki kwa njia nitafanyaje? Kaniambia usikufe moyo. Tukaendelea. Nikamwambia ni sawa, nimekubali. Tuskeli ikakuja katusaidia mambo ya savings. Hapo sasa ndo nikaamuka, nikajazwa na roho, tukaanza hapo. Mambo ya kujua mambo ya soya, siku najua ati soya inaweza ikanijenga ama inaweza ikaniinua. Soya wakati ilikuja, mimi hata sikuwa najua biashara, tulikuwa tunaenda tu tunaanguka tu. Lakini wakati wa Tuskeli ilikuja, iliniamsha. Tuskeli ilikuja ikanisaidia. Tukaanza biashara ya kuuza soya. Na ambapo soya hiyo tunashukuru Tuskeli imetuletea mashini ya kushagia maziwa. Tuskeli imetusaidia, tuko na mashini ya kushaga peanut. Na ambapo tuko na mashini ya kushaga mafuta. Hiyo yote tuko nayo. Na ambapo hapo saizi tukiongea hivi nasifu tu scale sana. Huko penye nilitoka Western huko niko na watu huko wengi, groups huko wengi, na hapo tu Uburi, hapo Uburi tuinuani dolikuja nikang'ang'ana na hiyo Uburi, kanisaidia, kaingia chama yenyewe ilinisaidia, kaniletea kwa hiyo tu biashara. Nilikuja nikawaambia hii biashara imenisaidia, nataka ng'ombe. Haikulala, wakaniletea ng'ombe, na ambapo ng'ombe yenyewe ndio nikatengeleza ng'ombe vizuri, nikamwambia msaidie mimi, msinitupe, msaidie, bado mimi nang'ang'ana na nyinyi. Kwa hiyo ng'ombe tulikuja nikang'ang'ana na hiyo biashara yangu. Nikaambia mzee yangu, hii ng'ombe imetosha kutoka, tusaidia na hii mambo ya ng'ombe. Kaniambia ina shida. Nilikuwa na shimo, kuna shimo ile mtu akiingia mtu aweza akatoka. Lakini saizi kwa hiyo chama ilikuja nikanunua shamba kwa ajili ya ukulima. Jambo lingine najifunia soya. Saizi maziwa yake unaweza kukunywa kwa wiki mara 3. Saizi mimi nakunywa maziwa ya soya kwa wiki mara 3. Tunajivunia mambo ya soya. Na hapo soya mtu akionja hiyo mandazi ya soya hiyo, chapati, ukionekana tu wanajua huyo ni mtu wa kazi yake. Hata tu msiniangalia tena nadhani nikakaa hivi mseme. Msema tu mtu ani mjinga. Naambia youths na wamama wenzangu, mwache kukaa tu ati mnataka kukaa kwa ofisi, mara mnataka kukaa wapi. Mimi hata sijajua ofisi ni nini. Niko tu ninakaa reserve. Na hiyo reserve, hiyo biashara yangu hiyo, nimeajiriwa kwa hiyo chama. Alafu tena nimeweka kwa sako. Kuna chama inaitwa sako. Nimeajiriwa kwa sako. Nimeajiriwa sasa hata mimi nikitoka kwangu najivunia ninaenda kufanya kazi yangu saa 1. Ikifika saa 10 kuna kibanda yangu huko nyuma. Sasa nasifu hiyo sana. Hata mzangu wakati alikuwa anasema sasa unaenda kufanya nini, nikamwambia hapana. Uwezo yangu usiniona ati ninakaa tu hivyo. Mwache kukaa tu tunangoja ati ofisi wakuite atukuje ukae.
Asante.
Hiyo siwezi nikawadanganya kwa hapo. Na mkikuja huku mseme tunaenda kwa Beatrice ndio wapi. Mtaletwa hata mtoto mdogo. Mtaelezwa ni nini anafanya. Na mwalimu wangu bado ninamshika tu. Saidie mimi kwa kujifunza kupata vitu zingine. Na stai wacha tu scale. Ni hayo tu, barikiwe.
So, thank you very much for that experience. So now we are going to hear from Godensia. You are an entrepreneur and you've seen how agribusiness is a viable venture. Can you tell us how you go about it and how is it that 2Scale helped you to expand and work through this value chain?
Asante. Nashukuru. Kwa majina ni Gaudensia Ongwen. Ninatoka katika Kakamega County, Matungu Sub County, Koyonzo Ward. Mimi ni mkulima. Na haswa sana ukulima wa soya. Na katika ukulima huu nilianza kulima soya kama ningali sijajua umuhimu wa soya. Kwanza nimekuwa nikitumia soya kwa matumizi yangu ya nyumbani. Lakini nilipokutana na ADS wakanifunza. In fact, wakanichagua kuwa kama kiongozi wa wakulima wengine. Maana tuna vikundi ambavyo kama tumekusanyika kama wakulima, tunalima soya, na baada ya kulima soya ADS imetufunza mengi sana pamoja na 2Scale. Kwa hivyo ninasema hivi, upande wa soya mimi nilianza kujua soya kama ningali sijajua umuhimu wa soya. Na kitu cha kwanza, soya nilipata ya kwamba ni chakula ambacho ama ni mmea ambao unaweza mmea popote, hata pale kwa mawe inafanya vizuri sana. Kwa hivyo nilifurahia sana kufanya kazi na ADS, maana walinifunza zaidi, na wakati walinifunza zaidi waliniweka kuwa kama Agribusiness cluster ABC coach. Hiyo ndio tunatumia hiyo lugha huko kwetu. Na wakati mimi ni ABC coach, nimelink other farmers na pia nimewatrain other farmers kwa ajili ya soya na kufanya value addition. Maana soya tumefika mahali tukapata ya kwamba iko na umuhimu tofauti tofauti. Kwanza anza pale kwa shamba. Utapata ya kwamba soya ni mmea ambao ni mmoja wa zile mmea ambayo inaongoza kwa kuongeza rotuba kwa udongo. Na katika afya yetu za mwili utapata ya kwamba it has health benefits. Na hizi zote inafika wakati kama sisi wakulima. Ninaweza kuambia ya kwamba kupitia kwa soya niko na clients ambao wametumia vyakula vya soya because tunatengeneza maziwa, tunatengeneza yogurt, tunatengeneza vyakula tofauti tofauti kama crackers, crunches, even biscuits kutoka kwa soya. Na katika hivi vyakula soya iko more nutritious and it has that nutritional value. At the same time it has medicinal value. Niko na clients ambao they testify even right now ya kwamba kupitia kwa soya imepunguza makali ya magonjwa, mfano pressure, diabetes na hata even HIV positive. Niko na wakulima and niko na wagonjwa wenye walikuwa na such like challenges ambao imepungua, at the same time wanaitumia kama chakula chao. That is now the nutritional value of the soya. Na kama mama pale nyumbani nilijiunga na kikundi, na katika vikundi vyetu niko na vikundi mingi ambazo tunakaa pamoja kama wamama na hizi vikundi tunapangilia, na ninashukuru sana to scale kwa sababu tulikuwa tunakaa tukifanya merry go round, ambapo sasa wakati to scale wameingia katikati, wametufundisha kuhusu village saving and loans. Right now kwa hizi vikundi vyetu tumebadilisha ile merry go round, sasa ni VSLA ambayo imejenga vikundi vyetu na imeviinua katika kufanya biashara zetu ndogo ambazo tunafanya ya value addition ya soya. At least imetuboost kutoka hatua hadi hatua. Vile ninaongea hivi kutokana na hizi value addition products zenye tunatengeneza kama vikundi na pia kama wakulima. Mimi mwenyewe kibinafsi ninashukuru sana, maana imeniweka hatua ama widow, na nimeweza kulea watoto wangu bila wasiwasi. Cause wakati ninauza hivi vyakula ama the products, at least zinanihikimu kwa maisha yangu na pia inanisaidia hata kulipa school fees kwa ajili ya watoto wangu. Niko na high school wawili ambao ninasomesha kutoka katika hii soya. At the same time ninashukuru sana, maana ninapoangalia ADS na to scale mmefanya mambo mengine makubwa sana. Katika hii room mnaona picha yangu kila mahali. Huyu ni mama ambapo nilikuwa kwa shamba langu nikilima, na hapo ndio to scale ilikuja ikaingilia, nikashtuka sana nimejipata katika mahali hapa. At the same time it is my first time kukuja Nairobi. Mara mingi sisi tunakaa kule ushago na waume wetu wanakimbilia town Nairobi. Sisi wamama tunabaki pale tunafanya kazi ya ukulima. So from housewife I'm somewhere right now. Thank you. ADS pamoja na to scale at least mumetuweka hatua. At the same time ninashukuru sana kwa sababu wakati nilikuwa kule nyumbani singeweza ongea, but right now I can talk. Nashukuru sana. At least mumenipa ile encouragement na pia nimeweza kuongea even kusimama mbele ya watu hivi haikuwa rahisi kwangu. Nashukuru sana. Na hii ni kwa ajili ya manufaa ya ADS kwa sababu ADS first walitutrain from the ground. Mimi sikuwa najua kutengeneza value addition ya soya. Na wakati ADS ilikuja pamoja na to scale, wakatuletea soy kit machines. Soy kit machines kule nyumbani tunaunda maziwa ya soya, at the same time we make yogurt. na hii yote ina boost maisha yetu. Kando na hiyo, pia imetuletea mitambo kama Soical ambao ni mtambo kubwa sana wa kuunda maziwa, na ninashukuru sana. Tunayo thresher ambayo saa hizi vile tunaongea iko katika uwanja. Last season harvesting tumetumia thresher ya 2 scale. Thank you 2 scale. Mumetuweka hatua. Maana initially tulikuwa tunatumia ile kienyeji. Wakati ninasema kienyeji kama ni kuunda maziwa, tulikuwa tunatumia kinu ambayo maziwa yetu haikuwa sawa. But wakati mmetuletea these machines, at least imefanya kazi yetu kuwa with the quality, at the same time ni safi, na nashukuru sana. Cause at the same time mumeweza kututoa katika ile hali ya maisha yetu, hatukuwa na soko, lakini right now mumetuongoza, mumetuelekeza na tunajua soko iko. Asante sana, nashukuru. Na nashukuru sana maana nikianza kuongea saa hii naweza maliza kesho. Yenye ADS na 2 scale imenifanyia. Asanteni sana. Asante.
Thank you very much, Godensia, for sharing this inspiring experience. Now here we have a non-union doctor. My first time to sit just side with somebody who is a non-union doctor. So Lucy, can you tell us about your business and just explain to the audience how you go about it, what are the challenges you faced, and how your engagement with 2 scale helped to address some of the challenges?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Let me start by saying I am so inspired by what my panelists are saying, because we're looking at agriculture beyond production and making money to impacting confidence in people to, I mean, that's so beautiful to hear. So my name is Lucy Wangare. I am a trained farmer by profession. I'm also a farmer, and I run a company called Onion Doctor. Na sisi ni watu wa vitunguu. Just to insist, we are onion farmers currently, so we are the people who are talking out here. And I think my first interaction with 2 scale, I DM'd, I know people don't do that, but I DM'd someone on LinkedIn from 2 scale. I had a question before here today on how the youth can be able to position themselves and take advantages of opportunities. So as a youth in agriculture, and as many people after school, you ask yourself what next? How do you take advantage of opportunities and the likes? So I began my work with 2 scale through DMs. I am feeling shy looking at the person I DM'd because I know it's wrong. I did that. But then I've been able to work with 2 scale as a service provider. I did a training in Kimana with Ken on training on seedling propagation to smallholder farmers down there. And through such kind of opportunities, I not only benefit as a farmer myself, but also interacting with those other farmers and opportunities like that. We are able to position ourselves to know, 10 years, 15 years down the line, through just sitting down with 2 scale and seeing what you're doing, you're also giving us challenges because we can sit down and provide employment to so many other people down the line here. Thank you.
Yeah. So from these discussions, you can see that young people are also finding employment and also going for entrepreneurship within the agriculture value chain. But this won't happen if we don't have the right leadership to support all these systems or these structures to continue and expand. And here we are sitting with a leader who have been working in agriculture for a number of years, and he's chair of KENAF in Nakuru. We would want you, sir, to tell us about how is your role organizing and coordinating these activities of farmers at the community level, and how you are making sure that young people, women, people with disability are also included as part of the systems and structures we are putting in place.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's really a big pleasure to be in this forum and also to be on this panel. My name is Luke Kesey. I'm from Nakuru. I'm chairman of Kenya National Farmers Federation Nakuru. And apart from that, I'm also a farmer, a dairy farmer. And to reach KENAF, I came through my cooperative society, where I sit as a chair as well. I want to say that really being together in any organization has a lot of benefits. First, being in groups or in cooperative society gives an opportunity to benefit from economies of scale in aggregating produce and marketing them. And through that, we're able to benefit from things like trainings. We're able to access finance. We're able to access things like farm inputs from the cooperative societies. And in so doing, I can say that building on the basics of groups and moving to cooperatives and further to apex organizations like the Kenya National Farmers Federation affords us opportunities to benefit from every stage. Now, I want to say that access to finance is a big problem for rural folks, particularly if they are not in groups or they are not in cooperatives. So being together allows them to access finance. Now, on issue of women and youth, we all know that women and youth play a big role in extension, agricultural extension and production itself at farm level. But then their efforts have never been recognized because they are normally not at the forefront of the leadership at that level. So it is imperative that we look at programs and trainings that are specially designed for women and youth so that they can benefit from the technical trainings that come out of that, and also financial trainings, access to finance and access to inputs, for example, land and other inputs. Now, there is also need for reforms and incentives from government and private sector so that we can provide them with opportunities to join in agribusiness and be able to bring out their best. Like, I'm very happy to sit with these young people who have very quickly been able to build themselves through incentives that are produced out of situations like this ones, private sector initiatives, and I'm sure with the new inclusive business club coming up, I'm sure we shall all benefit from that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this insight. Then for all our panels, especially the young people, Mr. Richard, you've seen and you've worked with other farmers, and you've provided services, and you've seen how this creates employment and address some of the challenges. So moving forward, what are the challenges you see, like we as programs, we as partners, we as actors, that we need to address for young people to succeed in agribusiness?
Thank you so much. The challenge I fought to farmers and the youth, it is hawa wana youth hawajakubali hii maneno ya ujue kuweka silage, kulisha ng'ombe si kazi rahisi if you won't own it. So ningeambia hawa watu wa two scale or the organizers, it is also good to train more youth, wajue maneno ya silage, waache tu ukimaliza shule unakimbia Nairobi wajue hapo mashinani kuna kazi ya silage ndio watu wapate pesa. Kwa hivyo kwa wakulima pia ningeuliza kuwe na still training seminars ndio farmers wajue maneno ya silage and fodder, because like now mtu ambaye aliweka silage hajasema ati kuna drought juu yeye alijipanga. Kwa hivyo badala ya tupangwe na season tuwe tumejipanga mapema. Kwa hivyo ningeomba tu hii maneno ya kuelimisha wakulima wana youth iendelee.
Charity, you've been also working with farmers and trying also to find employment and entrepreneurship in the agriculture sector. Do you think we have to work on some of the challenges as we move forward? So what are these challenges as a young lady who is working in that? What are the challenges you faced that you feel like we need to address?
Okay. I think for us young women, we are facing both economic and social challenges outside there. We are finding life is somehow different from how we thought it would be. So I think if we intervene, we can, okay, let's take for instance High Charity now. I can be able to reach some other 10 young women like me. I can mobilize them, then we intervene. You train these young ladies, you show them there is something better that they can do and they make their life change. I also think that you can also come in with to say, for instance, these young boys when you wanatoka from the rural areas to urban centers, searching for jobs, whereas in town there is no job. Some are even loitering all over in the town. If you show them that there is somewhere else that they can get that is in agriculture, wanaweza kupata kazi kupitia ukulima, I think that one can also help. Na pia so you can provide pesa sababu wengi wetu we have nothing, tuseme for instance hatuna shamba, you see. So if you come in mnatusaidia, yani kama nimesaidiwa shamba kidogo hapa unanisaidia kupata mbegu na panda. And also there is a challenge, there are so many youth outside there who are basing the interest on the environmental challenges. Let's take for instance now, I didn't have interest in agriculture, but as I've come today now in this gathering and grow something positive in agriculture, you see. So when I get outside there, the knowledge that I've acquired here, I put it into practice. Alafu nipande this season. Unfortunately, mvua inyeshe kidogo nikose kuvuna. You see now, nimeanza kuruhusu, sasa alikuwa anasema nini, agriculture hata I've wasted a lot of energy doing this and that, na kuna kitu nimepata.
So you mean climate change is also a challenge?
Yeah, it's also a challenge.
In addition to startup kits for young people to start up their enterprises.
Yes.
Yeah. So then, Lucy, can you also, like you've been working with this Onion enterprise, so do you think there are challenges that young people are facing that needs to be addressed, especially in the horticulture subsector?
Yes, and the challenges are quite a lot. The first one I would say is the input capital for starters. In the horticulture sector, it's really quite a bit high. And as she's mentioning, if you do not work with the climate as it is right now, you'll just be left in situations of endless poverty cycles. So in addition to what she's saying, if you're able to provide startup kits that can come with, say if you have a farm, you get a drip kit for either of an acre and a small tank. Something like for onions, I can give you a business plan for it. It's something that the youth can do. It can do well in so many places as long as you have access to water. the starter kits and the production cycle is very short, and the return on investment is also positively quite high. And unlike other horticultural crops, onions don't go bad that fast, so it gives people a lot of time to sell the onions. And most importantly, the onion value chain is something that I think can take out so many youth out of the poverty cycles, because not only of the short cycle and the fact that kila mtu anakulanga kitungu, that's the most important thing. So hii ni kitu ya kila mtu, so at the end of the day we are not talking about nikikula nyanya napata ulcers, sijui nikifanya nini nafanya nini. We're talking about a commodity that nobody thinks they can do without. Yani ni ile kitu ya kila mtu. So in addition to what she's saying, if you can be able to look at some of those value chains and the actors, and most importantly, how many people can be employed within the value chain, I think, and I've seen TwoScale has done a project on onions before, so I know you know the potential and the challenges there. But most importantly, there's a huge employment to be created to the youths who are in the rural areas that are quite dry using such value chains. Yeah.
Thank you for this inspiring insight. For the leadership, sir, you've listened to the young ladies, to young people. So what are your recommendations moving forward on how we can include more women, more young people into the agriculture organization, like cooperatives, like farmer associations, and the rest?
One, we need to train the youth and the women to be part of any movement that brings them together. Thereafter, the cooperatives or the groups that are formed must be sensitive to the fact that women and youth are special members that must be taken into account when we are planning for them. For example, in my cooperative society, we've decided to completely develop activities that really encourage women. For example, women are fond of producing special crops that are not of great interest to men, and you need to pay attention to those crops so that they are mainstreamed into the cooperative society, so that you can assist them in handling, like providing them with something like a pack house and some kind of a channel, so that the entire value chain is really favorable to the activities that women are able to do. And also during elections, it's important that you kind of provide them an opportunity to compete effectively for positions that are available, give them a chance to participate and also benefit from it. When also it comes to activities that are already going on, for example, in the area that I come from, men are known to be the owners of the cattle. A lot of times the women don't participate a lot in getting the output that comes from the dairy sector. But then we know that men are more interested in the morning milk. The evening milk is of no concern to them. So we decided that because the evening milk really belongs to the woman, then we bring out programs that ensures that evening milk is also collected and marketed like the morning milk. A lot of times we used to ignore the evening milk. And in so doing, we've been able to bring women into the dairy sector because they both participate, men and women, each earns their own money at the end of the day. Those are some of the activities that we do, and I think it can be extended to other projects and programs.
Ladies and gentlemen, with this note from the leader, we can understand that inclusive agribusiness is possible, but it requires one of us to contribute, to have its own share, but also young people to know there is opportunities, there are businesses around agriculture. Women have shared with us experiences and how agriculture or some of the value chains have lifted their life. And with this, we can thank our panelists and give time to the MC. If there are questions, we would ask our panelists also to remain seated, and they can be able to respond to these questions. Thank you very much.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. Great, great, great. So as we start our session of Q&A, probably we'll have it for about 10 minutes. I'd like to give a good professor from Strathmore to just mention a few things of how Strathmore is participating in inclusivity, what they're actually doing, and probably get to hear a bit more from her. So Professor Nachum, I think you'd speak best from this side. Our cameras are facing the front. Yeah, and we want you to be right in the middle of all of them. All right, all right. Why don't we give our professor a round of applause?
Thank you so much, everybody. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here. I would like to tell you about the work that we do in Strathmore. We have heard throughout the morning that the importance of training for agribusiness, and we have heard a lot about the importance of inclusion and sustainability, and we do a lot at Strathmore in those areas. But I want to start by saying that we take agribusiness very, very seriously at Strathmore. And we do that because we believe that with 60% of our GDP derived from agribusiness and about 70% of our employment comes from agribusiness, no other sector is poised to ensure the development and economic growth of Kenya and of the rest of Africa as agribusiness is. We believe that no other sector could derive so much return on the investment in training as it is in agribusiness. And we are serious about agribusiness also because we believe that Africa and Kenya have considerable comparative advantage in agribusiness. 65% of world arable land is in Africa. We have the best weather in the world. We in Kenya know that better than anybody else. And across Africa, weather conditions that are suitable for the development for the growing of different kind of crops. And lastly, for our agenda of today, we think that we invest so much in agribusiness because we believe that given the significance of agribusiness, inclusivity and sustainability could not come across without investing in agribusiness. So that's why we take agribusiness so seriously and pay so much attention to it. So much so that we have developed programs both in the academic area and in the executive education area. So our academic program has a Master of Management in Agribusiness, MMA as we call it, a 2-year program, one model of which is taking place internationally. The director of this program is sitting here with us. Catherine, will you please stand up so you can be recognized? Yeah, and please join me in welcoming Catherine here on board and introducing her to you because I want you to reach out to her if this is something of interest of you. On the executive side, we have several programs on which Marthy is responsible for. Marthy, will you please stand up so you could be recognized? Yeah, thank you, Marthy, and join me for in introducing you to Marthy, who's doing a remarkable job in running those programs that start with primary production, with value addition, with financing, and we are now developing a specific program for exporting, all related to agribusiness. Over the years, we have trained in those programs hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs and business practitioners to very good results. We have heard a lot about the value of training for agribusiness professionals, and we have seen that happening on our campus and by following up with our alums and the graduate of our programs. So I invite you to check up with the with my two colleagues. We also have a stand there that you can look into. But we all, as I mentioned already, we pay so much attention to agribusiness from the perspective of inclusive sustainability and inclusive growth. And here we have a lot to offer too. So we have a specific program that is sponsored by USAID, designed for women, and we train women in agribusiness every year, hundreds of them. literally, in order to increase the participation of women in agribusiness, something we have heard so much about throughout the day. Our programs attract practitioners from across the country, including from the most inclusive areas of Kenya, and train all of them towards the growth of sustainability in an inclusive manner. On the sustainability side, just to give you a flavor of the approach that we are taking to this, we have programs that train our practitioners in order to use the carbon economy to create value, to use weather condition and sustainability of climate in order to create value. We regard sustainability issue as a source of opportunity rather than a challenge, and try to convey this message to our practitioners and provide them with the tool to create value out of these challenges. We also spend a lot of time working with them on navigating between the balance of creating a sustainable business and also meeting the financial and economic goals of the business. And we know that at times the two may or may not go together. So these are the themes that undermine the work that we do in agribusiness in the area of exclusivity and sustainability. And I invite you to reach out to us and see for yourself what the kind of work that we are doing and be the beneficiaries of that to your success. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to our further engagement with you. Thank you.
All right, just before you leave, whether you heard she's said everything Strathmore does in agriculture in exactly 1 hour. That's how you finish your master's in 1 year. If these are the lecturers, just kidding. But no, I have a question. Today we are launching inclusive business clubs. And as we launch it, we have different stakeholders being represented. Strathmore happens to be the academia representing today. And I believe the way you've pitched Strathmore to us, we also want to pitch a bit of this to you and probably put you on the spot. And I believe you are a decision maker at Strathmore. What would be the commitment of Strathmore? High level. High level. Do not even sign on it. Just tell us and then we'll come and follow you. What would be the commitment of Strathmore to support this particular inclusive business club? We are going to probably organize a few more forums like this. Have a few more events. Would you guys want to plug in, probably bring in some of those programs to our members at subsidized rate? And in Strathmore it's $100 and then subsidized is $99. But it's still subsidized. So, what are we looking at in terms of commitment by Strathmore, say, to this particular club?
Well, our women program is supported by USAID, so it costs very little or maybe close to nothing. Mercy, who is sitting there and has been running this program very successfully for several years, will be able to tell more about that. We have grants for students who are coming from low level and are unable to afford studying in our programs. Once a year, our Vice Chancellor is leading a marathon around the city in order to raise capital to support students who cannot afford to join our programs. And we're very dedicated to ensure that nobody will stay away from Strathmore because they cannot afford our program. So last year, I was very proud to participate in this program, and we raised more than 3 million Kenyan shilling towards this program. We were able to many students that would not otherwise be able to afford to join Strathmore. We are very, very mindful of those challenges and want very much to serve the society in large and ensure that nobody will be left outside of Strathmore because they cannot afford to pay for it.
Great. So in the next event, you guys will be part of our sponsors? I'm just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate our prof here. Thank you so much. Yeah, now you can go back, sit down. If she was working for me, I would be the luckiest person. She's a great salesperson. All right, so, we've had a lot of conversations. I probably want to jumpstart this. It's not a question, it's just a comment. Onion Doctor, the lady right there, is very big on LinkedIn. I follow her. Aki, please follow me so that people see me as a serious person. She is very big on LinkedIn, and this is what I think. We have always we've always looked at agriculture for youth as a place of youth need to go and start plowing and doing this and doing that. But there's a whole space of knowledge brokering. There's a whole speech I gave, or rather a talk I gave about using technology, and I gave people an example of Edgar Obare. How many people know Edgar Obare? Just by a show of hands. Edgar Obare, yeah, a good number of people. Edgar has created a whole community that loves gossip. But this is what he has done. Using his Instagram stories, he has a lot of people watching his stories and looking for that gossip to a point that any business can actually market there and get traction. So you'd find that in a day, stories is like 100 per day. He would have 100 businesses, and they each paying about 1,000 bob or 3,000 shillings. So in a day, he has 300,000 shillings. And that is just on gossip. Can you imagine if you became an authority in agriculture and you're able to create that as a youth? And I'm talking about the youth because I know she has a lot of followers. She writes, today I'm planting onions, and then 1,000 people like it, 1,000,000 people, oh, we love you, oh, onions, oh, but people are watching. It means she has an opportunity to create a marketing platform from that. How many youth are looking at that as an opportunity? The second one, in 2018, I was in a place called Bungoma. And we had some youth and we were having different conversations. And what happened is, I told them, they say they don't have land. And I told them, but your parents farm up to September. So the short rains, the land is fallow up to February. Why don't you plug in and plant sunflower? And we agreed we had about 30 acres, give or take. And after that, and then you tell your parents what we will do is we will plow for you the land so that by the time you want to plant your maize, you're ready. What happened is that they planted about 30 acres and they sold to Bitco and they made some money. They didn't have land. They probably got land on loan by saying they'll plow later, but they still made money. So ideally, I agree, probably capital is not what we have, but sometimes looking at the capital creatively would probably give us some of those solutions. All right, so Q&A. Let's hear some of your reactions. All right, my good sir is here in exactly 2 minutes, the way the professor did.
Thank you very much. Now, I want to talk about the youth. I'm not youth, but I've worked with the youth. In a different way, I want to see how we have connected with Two-Scale and the youth. My name is Gatobura Rama. I work with Meru National Polytechnic. Hearing about Polytechnic, you are talking of TVET.